Where do I stand?
As
I want to start.
yeah, please not touch this. Sorry,
Where do I stand?
just here. Yeah?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Hi, physical and virtual audience.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Evening.
Good evening, Ngozi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'll get a hang of it. Stop looking backward. Just focus on you. I can't see you.
Hello,
all.
everyone. Good evening.
Hi, I have to turn back to see you all. Good evening, Chinwe, Ronti. Who else is there? I don't see everyone. Anytime is trying to join. We're excited to be here. This is our 28th consecutive HRBP Meet-Up. Drum roll, clap, clap, clap. And this is our first hybrid since the lockdown. We almost forgot how to connect physically. I know, I'm like, okay, what's happening here? This is absolutely new normal. In fact, someone said next normal. Okay? We've gone through that whole new normal phase. My name is Ngozi Adebi. I'm excited to be here. Can we put our hands together for Team Leadway? Team Leadway Assurance, the HR team, for supporting us and sponsoring this quarter's meetup. We're super excited. It's a first many levels. So we trademarked the name HRBP Meetup. And so this is the first communication, like, social media engagement that we. I miss the online audience, but again, I think we have to start getting used to these kinds of things. So hopefully I will win today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've had some music play in the background. We absolutely have a great physical audience. Can we put our hands together for them? I don't know if you can see them, but we have a crew here. I'm going to read out some of their names. Oladapo, Sophie, Dami, Victor, Celestina, Salam, Stephen. Tell me, Olamide, yes. And Anthony, yes. We have Kumbi in the house as well, and the outside HR crew. Excited for what we have lined up this evening. So really quickly, we're going to go into networking. And I'm going to invite Oba to also stand with me, just in case I need help. But so we're going to have breakout rooms as we usually do. And for those of us here, we'll just sort of split into two. We ran a poll. We ran a poll a couple of days ago just to get a sense of what we should ask today, like pertinent, right? Because we can decide that, background, okay, again, this is next. We're here, there, everywhere. So we ran a survey. Thank you for all the HRBPs on the Telegram group who sort of gave us responses. And we narrowed it down to two main themes. People want to talk about this in the breakout rooms. The Great Resignation. The Great Resignation, reality or fiction, and remote versus on-site versus hybrid working. What does your company currently practice and how effective is that? Did you guys get that? Okay, so I know you're not, that what you're in physical, but virtual in physical. Like, cause your hand is on your phone and then so be present. I want us to, one person in front of the other. So that's how we typically, well, see, you're just like, like, let me sit all by myself. By the way, we've been supplied COVID tests for everyone who physically comes. So thank you to Team Leadway Health, right? So as you're leaving as well, you can pick a COVID test and double check that you're good. And if you're not, you sit still at home and quarantine. Yes? Knowledge is power, yes? So someone sits in front of the other, and I'll ask you guys to take us into breakouts in virtual. So we have a virtual captain, Ibuku. I don't know if she's there. She's going to engage. We also have Kayode.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Then with me are Ober, and I think the rest of the crew. So we have 10 minutes. We can do this for 15 minutes. The last time people complained, oh, it's not enough time. So we will ask you to break out into, I think the rooms open. Okay, you're going to open the room. You can start opening the rooms now as I'm rounding up. Okay, Urban is the microphone. Can we see the speaker? Those of us online will not just want to be listening to audio. Where is the speaker? I'm right here. IT, can you help us? I thought they were seeing me. I was seeing myself. Hello, I can see myself.
We can see you. We can see you.
Yes, thank you. Somebody complained.
Hello.
Okay, thank you for seeing me. I was seeing my back. Okay, so we're going to open the breakout rooms. Any room you land in, that's the room you're supposed to be in. But discussing the great resignation, reality or fiction, and remote versus on-site versus hybrid working. What does your company currently practice and how effective is it? Okay, it's up on the screen for those of us physically here. We'd like you to engage the person in front of you. In 5 minutes, you move them so that they can talk to other people. Please break out. Are you good for breakout rooms to be open?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, please, let's open the breakout rooms. I miss you guys, but it's great because this is how life is going to be going forward. So, okay, please join the meeting rooms and we'll circle right back in 15 minutes. The great resignation, reality or fiction, remote or on-site versus hybrid working. Okay, so as they've all gone to rooms, I'm now with you guys fully. Did you get that? Uncle, you're playing games here. Virtual. So they know the thing about it is physical, virtual, physical. Like you have to not be virtual when you're physical. Can we resist, I don't know, 18 months or what, 22 months of being at home and virtual? I know that it grows on us. Eh? In fact, probably you're already there without even knowing. You just pick your phone, reflex kind of thing. So me and you are going to engage in a minute. Are we good? So which ones are you going to discuss? Great resignation, reality or fiction? Oh, but we need you to clear the screen for us. Okay? And remote versus on-site versus hybrid working. What does your company currently practice and how effective is it? So do you want to engage the person in front of you? Pick a topic, which one? This is Ngozi. The topic is on the screen. You have 3 more minutes. We're going to move it to somebody else to discuss something else. Okay, I need to situate you.
Almost. Can we change now? Look for a new partner to discuss with for another 5 minutes. A new partner for another 5 minutes. Look for a new partner quickly. Quickly find one. Quickly find one and discuss a new partner, someone you've not met in a long while, someone you've not met before. Quickly. Okay. I see the reshuffle is happening here. Quickly reshuffle. Reshuffle quickly. Okay.
So discuss or remote versus online. Hello, online audience. Okay, they're in breakout rooms. That's good. So after this discussion, we'll pull them back in. Three more minutes. Organize. All right, we're wrapping up. Have the young people. All right, one more minute. We're wrapping up. We're going to pull the online audience back. We'll pull the, yes, just tell. All right, we welcome the, you play your whistle. We are back. I think we have the virtual team back. Okay, virtual team are back. Things are warming up here. Just when I thought you guys were not going to gist, I'm now having to pull you back. Welcome back. Hello, so we're going to take feedback from the breakout, one person online and one person physically. Yes? So I'm going to hand the microphone over to somebody. I don't know where they're seeing us from, whether it's that corner or here. Can you guys online see me?
We cannot see you.
No, we cannot see
you.
No.
We can see the audience.
We can see the
Yeah.
audience.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you
yeah,
can see you now. You're coming into frame.
Okay, so we moved it. Welcome back. This takes some getting used to, but I'll be ahead of the curve. By the time all of you jump into hybrid, I'll be a pro. So I'm learning. All right, welcome back. Thank you all. I'm sure you had a great conversation. There was great banter in the room. I'm going to hand the microphone over to one person here who will give us insights from what they discussed. We had them move, so a couple of them got a chance to speak to more people. And then we'll take one of you's feedback from the virtual, I'll call you the virtual team, eh? And then we'll power on. We're running a little behind time, but hopefully we'll make up for it. So who's going? Who's going to bell the cat from Team Physical? Dakwa is looking at me, so I'm going to hand it to him.
Okay. Have to talk, right? Okay, so I got to speak to two people. Okay. I got to speak to two people, and we had a chance at talking on the two topics. So I'll speak first on the first one, which is the Great Resignation. Okay, I thought. Oh, so yeah, I think it's something that has come to stay, right? What I hear everywhere today is people are resigning, and there are few things that are responsible for the resignations. The almighty migration that's happening all over the world, and we see more often than not that we don't even have people at the middle level anymore, that a lot of them are resigning and leaving. And for every vacuum that is created, we as HR people get to steal from each other. So I have a vacuum, I probably poach from another organization, it creates a vacuum in the organization, and it goes on like that. So I think at this point, from our discussions, we HR people need to start to rethink, just like we did when COVID started, and we had to think on our feet. How do we work around this? Because this has come to stay. People will continue to leave, people will continue to move. So is it a case of we need to relook at retirement age so that the people at the top need to stay longer to cushion for the effect of what is happening? Or maybe we need to devise some means. It's a conversation we need to start having. Maybe we need to invest more in technology so that for every person that leaves, we might not exactly have to replace. Technology might fill the gap and things are going to be easier. So we need to start thinking around these things and start making those investments now. Then on the other hand, the other question, hybrid, physical, and virtual.
Yeah.
I think, okay, your organization, what do they do? I happen to be in the manufacturing space, and there's little to what you can do in that space. The guys that work in the offices, yes, they can do a bit of hybrid, they can do a bit of working from home, but the guys that are on the floor, if you have to make them do hybrid or work from home, then you're actually out of business, or you need to incur more costs to get extra people for extra shifts and all that. So basically, those people are still going through the regular kind of work, which is physical. And what we just try to do is put a lot of COVID measures in place to prevent against COVID. Basically, that's what it is. And I think that is what it basically is in all manufacturing spaces. Because as much as we're trying to keep people safe, we're also trying to optimize costs and to keep being in business. And if we have to keep being in business, we can't incur more costs. So the office guys can do hybrid, they can work from home, but the manufacturing guys can't exactly do. But for organizations that are consulting, that are in the financial service, I think for them it's more easier. They can actually work from anywhere at any point. So it's quite easy. And I think I'll drop the mic at this point. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dako. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to ask someone online, the virtual team, as we've called you. I see hands raised. I'm just from here. I can see Oluronti's hand raised. I'm assuming you want to jump into the conversation. And I may have missed some other hands, so forgive me. Oluronti, do you want to unmute yourself and to speak a little louder so maybe we can hear?
All right. Good evening, everyone. Nice to be here with the HRBP Meet-Up team. I'll be talking about the Great Resignation. And the Great Resignation, I would say, has come here to stay. We don't know how long it's going to last, but I will only talk, I don't want to repeat what the other speaker has said. What strategy are we as HR professionals using to ensure we retain our employees? Because the movement is really fast. The economy is dynamic. The global economy is also volatile, uncertain, volatile, ambiguous, and complex. Now, someone mentioned, okay, HR needs to strategize. I would also add to what he has said that we need to understand the part the leadership of our organizations are playing in tackling this issue of great resignation. Because sometimes HR people will have our great strategies, great plans, great retention plans. We take it up there and nobody is getting to buy into what you're proposing. So how do we manage? That's what we should be thinking about, to carry our leadership team along, to let them understand the trend and what is happening. The analysis of those who are leaving, exiting our company organizations, we have this analysis. We can tell okay, this is why this person is going. This is where this person is going to. This is why this person is actually making this move. We need to start chipping that into the management meetings, helping them to understand where they need to play. And when we bring this proposal, following that understanding, I think we're going to be able to make more impact in providing things that can help to ameliorate, to prevent this great resignation from, I'm not saying from happening, but at least from impacting our various organizations. That is my perspective. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oloronti. And yes, you do touch on great points. I'm going to suggest, just because of time, I'm seeing Folu, Rotimi's hand up, and a couple people. I can't invite you in just now because we are really running behind, but I'll request that you just sort of pop it in the chat. Your comments, just put your comments in the chat. We're going to collate all of that, and hopefully we'll share with those that we have on our mailing list. And if you may, at some point, we'll request for emails if it's your first time. So I'm going to invite Kumbi up. Kumbi Adeoti, our great hostess. And I think there's another microphone floating around somewhere. Okay, we'll take a word from our sponsor. Thank you, Kumbi.
Good evening, everyone. And it's great to see all the bright faces here. Thank you, because you're special for the people who made it physically. And why do I say so? You braved the traffic to be here. Awesome. We celebrate you. And guess what? We have great things in store for those people who decided to make it here physically. It's fabulous. We're not letting the cat out of the bag. And to our audience who are online, we're excited that you're joining virtually too. You're just only telling us the reality of the moment that we are in. We are excited as Leadway to host this. We're a 50-year-old company. We keep expanding. For some of us who don't know, this is being done by Leadway Assurance and Leadway Health. That's our recent baby along the chain. We have Leadway Hotels. Ngozi has been a fantastic client. She loves the Abuja Leola Hotels. We do have in Lagos. It's not about adverts, but I'm only telling you about the company as it is. We have Leadway Properties, we have Leadway Capital and Trust, we have asset management, we have Leadway Pension, and what have I missed? And we've talked about health, and we are in Côte d'Ivoire, where we have Leadway B, IADE, and Ankara Services. Trust me, we want to be that one-stop company for you. And we just want to give you value. We're not about money, we're about value. And that's why we're sponsoring this. We want to bring value to the HR community. A whole lot is happening around us. Our world is evolving. And guess what? The conversation we just had now is about resignations, which is giving the CEOs and all executives sleepless nights. I still got a mail yesterday, and they are looking at HR for the solution. They are supposed to be the Superman. Who takes care of HR when HR takes care of everybody else? God, right? Isn't that what we say? But this is the atmosphere where we take care of one another. We exchange ideas, we exchange knowledge, and we can bring value to the organizations that we support. So I'm not going to stay so long. I'm not going to bore us. I'm just going to encourage every one of us, whether you are online or you are here physically, make up your mind to take value back to your organization. And we're especially grateful to the outside in HR team. They do this flawlessly year on year. I remember the one I attended at KPMG when they first opened the building. And since that time, I said to myself, rain, sunshine, we're bringing outside in HR here. And I'm glad that is happening today. It's about value. They've thought about how to add value to the profession, skill us, and so that we remain at that edge. Most people seek that's what we call it, sit at the table, right? And if you are not learning, there's something about life. There's no midpoint. You're either growing or you are dying. And we choose not to die in this profession. The world of work is evolving. We as professionals are evolving with it. And we are glad as Leadway to be able to host you today. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much, Kumbi. Can we put our hands together for her? Thank you so much. I'm inviting Abalua in for the next activity.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Are we happy to be here? Okay, so it's time for the music games, and this is a time when you get to win gifts by guessing our songs and the artists who sang them. So we're going to be shifting between the team online and the team physical here. So the first song we'll be taking. Hello. Hello. Okay, can we just can we maintain that?
Hi, we can hear you.
Yes, okay, thank you, team online. All right, so the DJ is here, we're playing some songs for us. So for people online, this is how it goes. When the DJ plays a song for about 10, 20 seconds, you will guess the name of the song and the artist on the chart. You don't need to talk, just put in a chart. So the first person to get it correctly, no typos, please be sure that you wrote the correct spelling.
Who is the online vice captain, or what we call
Okay,
it
so
now?
Ibukun is
Class
the one.
captain.
Ibukun is selecting online, which
Okay.
will tell us
Yep.
whoever wins each of the round that we have. And for physical, just raise your hand. Once I come to the physical, just raise your hand if you know the song and the artist, and I'll call you. The first person to raise their hand and get it correctly wins that round. Right? Are we good?
We're good.
Okay. Am I fair enough? Okay, great.
Okay.
All right, DJ, are you ready? So let's go for the first one. It's for the online audience. So please, over to you, DJ. Hello, Ibukun, do we have a winner there? Hello, Ibukun?
Yes, we do.
Is there a winner?
Yes, we have one.
Okay, who's the winner?
The winner is Titilayo Odukoya. She was the first.
Okay, Titilayo Odukoya, thank you very much.
Nice to remember, Shalom.
All right, so the next one is for the physical audience. So DJ, over to you. Can you please play it? Just raise your hand. Once you know it, raise your hand. The first person to raise their hand, I will call the person.
Absolutely.
Okay, DJ, over to you. Stop. So Kazim waves his hand first, then followed by the lady in green.
Did you Shazam it? Okay. Because you're holding on to your phone.
Okay.
Team physical.
Wow, that's correct.
All right, put your hand.
So you got it. So your name again, Kazim. Okay, Kazim won the music round for the physical. So let's go to the next one. Now this for the audience. So DJ, over to you. Can you please play the song?
highlifeng.com.
Thank you.
okay. People, do we have a winner?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so who's the winner?
Once again, it is Titilayo Odukoya.
She's Shatam.
Wow, this is
Titi,
awesome.
we need to have your video on, hands up in the air with your phone. One hand in the air with your phone. So you can type with the other hand. We must send auditors to your house.
That's fine.
We literally have to send auditors to your house.
All right, thank you very much.
So, Titi, you're going to gift your gift. We're going to ask you to gift your gift to the second participant.
That's fine.
Sorry?
That was...
Yes, that person is your neighbor at work, so I suspect he wants to take it. So we're asking you to...
No, just ignore him, please. Oluwatoyin can have it.
Oh,
okay, thank you so much. You are honored, your second Shazam sister in the music space. We love Toyin, nonetheless. All right, one more song or two.
Okay, so we have 2 more songs.
Okay.
Now
Thank you.
Musical. So DJ, over to you. Okay, that walk over to you. Now, finally to you.
The whispers, right? And the music goes on. And it goes on. And the whispers and the beat goes on.
All right, so Dakwa is correct. So finally, Dakwa won that. What is it? No, it's just one gift per round, so you can't get to. All right, thank you very much. That's for Ola Dakwa. We won that round. So one more round for the online audience. So over to you, DJ.
All right. Online audience, if do we have a winner?
Indeed, we do. The winner for this round is Camille Odumosu.
Okay, what is the name of the song and the title and the artist?
Sunday Owendi by Osita Osadebe.
All right. Thank you very much. Can we put our hands together for all those who won, both physically and virtually? Yes. Okay. All right, good evening again, everyone. We are here live from Leadway Assurance Building, and we're excited to be hosting our 28th consecutive HRBP Meet-Up. I thought I saw somebody, a full 7 years. We are humble. I thought I saw someone pop in the chat, something like, what's going on here? So hopefully someone would assist to share that information. We are bringing on our guest speaker shortly, so grab your notes, grab your pens. Someone's calling my attention, but I'm live on stage. Okay. So this is not only new normal, this is next normal, you know? You know, before it'll be like, they'll call you on the side to whisper to you. Now it's like, well, here, physical, virtual. Let's hug, let's keep it moving. Okay, so, oh, okay, Tolulokwe, what's going on with the 60s music? Do you remember how old our sponsor is, the organization? Who were those that guessed right online? How many decades? The clue, what was the question? When we put the clue up, someone's asking what's with the 60s songs?
5.
5? How many decades? 5 decades, yeah. So we're going way back. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Jumoke. All right. So our guest speaker is in the house. Can we put our hands together for him? Like you see, we're wetting the floor before he comes in. So, Mr. Odalo, she came and she corrected me. That's what she was like. This is his name. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. I've exposed her now. Odalo Imufia. Did I get that? Yeah, I tried. I'm from Delta. I tried. Okay. He's the Group Chief Information Officer, Leadway Assurance. He's had, remember we said, well, everything is together. You know, before we all be quiet. Now they're like, we're virtual, we're online, it's hybrid. Let's keep it moving. All right? Okay, great. So I'm just introducing Odalo. He's right in the room here. He spent almost 13 years at KPMG, where he started off his career from IT management analyst all the way up to senior manager technology advisory services. He has a master's degree and MBA in accounting and finance from University of Liverpool and a BSc from University of Benin. He's a certified information systems auditor and a project management professional. So, and just yesterday, I can see someone's going, someone's doing the dance, so I'm just joining her. Just yesterday, he was nominated as the CIO of the year for the insurance sector. Can we give it up to a speaker today? There's love in the room for Mr. Odalo Murphy. Please join me on stage to take this forward. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good to be here. Kumbi sort of set me up with this engagement.
I suspected.
I was shocked when I was told I was going to be talking to HR people about hard and soft skills and which way to go. It's sort of fresh and new. But let me clarify my role here this evening. My role here is really to provoke a discussion really about where work is going. In my as a technology, as a business leader from a technology perspective, I will talk about those things that are influencing the future of work. And by extension, the nature of skills that are becoming more emphatic in how we survive in that future. Right. So I'm not going to be telling you what you already know, but rather setting the tone for us to have a robust discourse around where hard and soft skills sit in the future of work. Okay. So to guide our discussion, it's really in this order. We'll go through the introduction, talk about the future of work, take a brief look about hard and soft skills, talk about how we recruit the right skills for the future of work, and then how do we prepare the current workforce for that future. Yeah, let's go. Oh, like I said, there, as we adopt a lot of technology going forward, there are certain fundamentals in the technology space that are already impacting how we work and will continue to play a greater role in how we work going forward. There's just a few of them here, but there are some that are very fundamental that I want to talk about. The first of them is blockchain. Now, without going into too much detail, the problem that blockchain tries to solve is the issue of trust. Now, the only reason two people or multiple people cannot get into a transaction is because of trust. And therefore, you need what? A third party to provide that assurance. So for instance, you want to hire somebody, you have to do a background check. I don't know you from anywhere. I have to depend on a third party to assure me that you are who you say you are. You don't have a criminal record and all of that. Block solves the problem of trust because by its nature, it takes everything. I don't want to go to technical here. It takes everything that is about you, right? And let me give you an example. So, Mr. Salam, for instance, born a certain, has a certain weight, lives in a certain address, at a certain address. There are certain things about him, his driver's license, his international passport. So if you look at a human being, there's a whole lot about that person. Now imagine you take all of that information, put it into a mathematical algorithm, and it creates an identity. That identity is almost impossible to forge, okay? So in a situation where I have such an identity for an individual, it is so unique that I don't need a third party to provide me assurance. As long as I am a participant in that system that controls all of that ID, I am able to independently verify that this person is who he says he is. And this is applicable to every other thing. As long as there's a system of record, be it for a financial transaction, a land transaction, a legal contract, what have you, long as the details can be digitized, hashed, and put on the blockchain, then it removes trust, the need for an independent trust entity to provide you assurance. And then artificial intelligence. Essentially, this is saying that things that humans typically should do and can do, we will be able to trust machines to do them. Why is this possible? Computing has become cheaper over time. So it's not as if these capabilities did not exist in prior years. Mathematics has not changed, the fundamentals of these things. Mathematics, cryptography, those things have always existed. The issue has been the computing power to democratize this capability. Used to be the exclusive preserve of very big entities with deep pockets, typically the military, defense contractors, those kind of things. But because computing power has become very cheap and will continue to be so going forward, you find out that these capabilities will become more available. And we all interact with artificial intelligence on a daily basis. For some of us, as we type, the device you are typing on is suggesting for you. That's artificial intelligence on a very basic level. But as we move forward, what it means is that a lot of the tasks that people go to school for and spend years studying, we will trust machines to do them. A lot of tasks that are repetitive and voluminous, we will trust to robotic process automation. And by this, I don't mean funny looking machines all over the place. These things are essentially software. Being able to use artificial intelligence to execute tasks that you typically will have 50 people in a room for. Today, I can tell you for free things like bank reconciliations, things like reading structured forms, things like records management, even email analysis. In this building, we have software robots that determine what you want to do from an email. And are able to say, hey, this email go here, this email go there. You know, you're doing email triaging and things like that. You know. And then, of course, as things become more automated, naturally, the need to be physically present reduces, obviously, because the interaction that demands that people all aggregate in one place is no longer there. You know, machines are doing a lot of the things that used to happen. A lot of us, everybody in this room has worked remotely over the past 2 years. Compulsorily. And we've done it successfully, funny enough. Some of the people we preached to and that said never, it would never happen, were the ones that paid the bill for it to happen. You know, so it's with us already. The question then becomes, how do we survive? What then? What type of people will thrive in the future of work? Now, the picture I was trying to paint was not to create fear. It is our reality. In case you don't know, we are already living that reality, and we will continue to live it into the future. But let's talk about the type of people. One is adaptability. If you think you are rigid and you are not adaptable, think about what has happened to you over the past 2 years. You have adapted in ways that you could never have thought of. And it's not just about sitting on the computer and doing the work remotely. There's a whole lifestyle that you've had to adapt in order to be able to successfully do that. The other thing is, when a machine begins to solve problems for you, it then demands a higher calling of you as the individual. It then means that your problem-solving capability have to be higher. Else this future is not for you. So I'll give you an example. In finance, for instance, a bank reconciliation I used to spend maybe 2 days to do, right? A software robot is doing that bank reconciliation for me in 15-30 seconds. And then it's giving me exceptions to deal with. So it's no longer me sorting through everything over a week and you say, I've really suffered this week. And everybody is betting you because you slept in the office to get the reconciliation done. Now the reconciliation is getting done and the machine is giving you the problem to solve. Those problems that you used to hide at the bottom of the file, coming out to you in 30 seconds for you to solve. So your problem-solving capability has to go up. The other thing is that for these so-called machines, if you like, they have to learn from us. The data we provide, our experience, and all of that, we have to build into. I'm sure most people here have used Amazon. It's quite interesting how it's able to predict or suggest to you what you should be buying. But guess what? When you log into Amazon on day one, Amazon does not know you. So chances are what we will recommend to you is rubbish. Or on the basis of information you have provided, so your age, your location, and all of that, it will then read that to others of similar demographics, of similar details, and then suggest on that basis. Right. So the point I'm trying to make is that our inputs at the end of the day is what will make these things work for us. But that then also suggests that you have to be a productive employee, a productive worker, a knowledge worker. Else, this future is not for you. And that then dovetails from the individual to the organization. If the individuals are not ready, that organization will die very quickly. And there are a few perspectives to this. A few perspectives. Some organizations will see it coming and will not do anything about it because they're comfortable. And they feel their place is assured. And they will die off like the guys who sold CDs in Alaba, like the Kodaks, like even the yellow cab drivers, who while they were sleeping under the bridge did not realize that people were booking cabs on their phones. And in their meetings, they will say, "We're not seeing customers anymore." You know. So some organizations will see this thing coming and will not prepare and will not emphasize the nature of skills that will require them to move forward. Some other organizations will, and they will future-proof their organization, both in terms of the skills, the tools, the technologies, the awareness, and all of that is required to survive going forward. So to the crux of the matter, hard skills versus soft skills in this new world that we look at, what should we be emphasizing? Let me categorically state something here, but I'll leave that for a bit. Next. So just to quickly set the tone, your hard skill is basically the skills you need to perform a specific function. You typically will go to school for that kind of skill. It's typically it's functional in nature. The whole idea of a hard skill is to get a specific thing done. A soft skill, on the other hand, is more broad-based. It could be learned, but it's usually innate. It's more difficult to learn. That's not to say it cannot be learned, but it's more difficult. For a hard skill, the amount of time you put into practice is almost proportionate to how good you get going forward. For a soft skill, not necessarily. You may spend a lot of time in practice and the gains will be marginal. The application of soft skills are broad-based. It's not about a specific form. It's not about getting a specific thing done. It's almost like a life skill applicable in any industry. So the question then becomes, let's go. What are the dimensions in which we can talk about the place of a hard skill versus a soft skill? Now, the nature of the industry is important. As HR people, or generally as people, it is very, very unsafe to use a one-size-fits-all approach for this kind of discussion. And that's why I said, really, my role here today is just to provoke thoughts on how we think about this, this topic. Because there's really no one-size-fits-all kind of answer. But there are dimensions in which you can think about it. So in farming, for instance, we talk about mechanized farming, but at the end of the day, really, that's a profession that has really not changed for over 1 million years significantly. You put it in the ground, it comes out, how you put it and all of that. And there's a lot of technology around farming. Let's not even underestimate that. But the skills and what you require, or the balance between the hard and soft skill in farming, cannot be compared to what you will find in financial services. Right? So, understanding the nature of the industry, therefore, the extent to which the balance between the hard and soft skills come into play is a key consideration. And then function. Again, what is it that you do? What is that function about? What does it demand? A lot of functions are going to be disrupted in the future of work. But the question is, to what extent? That is the consideration we must put into place, or one of the considerations that we need to put into place as we think about, where to go. And then hierarchy. Now, irrespective of the industry, irrespective of the function, where you are in the hierarchy is also a factor. The rule of thumb says early in your career, your technical skills matter. Because at that point in time, your focus is really on understanding what it is that you do, building those technical skills so that you can effectively carry out the function. Remember, your hard skills are about getting specific things done. At the lower levels of the organization, your focus is about getting specific tasks done. But as your sphere of influence begins to grow, then you de-emphasize the need for the hard skills, and then the softer skills begin to come into play. Emotional intelligence. So imagine an HR manager that cannot work with people, or that is not empathetic, that is not able to put herself or himself in the place of the other person. You will fail woefully. But within that same HR function, the guy who is crunching the numbers for payroll is in his corner, crunching those numbers. It doesn't matter how empathetic he is. If you pay twice my salary, you're fired. So, and that is where, and there are a lot more considerations, but the idea is just to say, in talking about where to go with these hard and soft skills, there are dimensions through which we can view the options. Now, what's the research saying, basically? The research is emphasizing today a shift for most industries towards the softer skills. Critical thinking and analysis, problem solving, self-management. If you come to, that's from the World Economic Forum. If you come to McKinsey, leadership and managing others, critical thinking, project management. About the same, the top three, about the same. Let's go back to the last 2 years, where a lot of us, because of the pandemic, have had to work remotely. If you lack self-leadership, you are in trouble. Your manager is not there in front of you to force you to do what you need to do. But the deliverables must come out. So if you have spent your time going to the market and cooking stew, know that you are going to pay for that time in the night. And so when we began to look at the data from the back end, how people were working, we realized that it was round the clock. That's not to say that people were working 24 hours. It was just to say that people's work patterns became evident. Some, the morning guys, the midday guys, and the night owls. The night owls, we know where we see ourselves in the night. I'm sure in every organization, you night owls, you know yourself. All the crime you have committed in the day, you pay in the night. You know, but that's talking about self-leadership. Because you know for a fact that the deliverable is the deliverable and it must come out. And we are going to see more of that going forward. Nobody is going to chase you for anything. But the ability to track the outcome is improving. So if your outcome is not coming out, you will probably be shown the door. Critical thinking, decision making. Like I said, a lot of automation will expose a lot of people because we mask a lot of incompetence in activity that produces nothing. And the machines have come to say, you know what? We don't have pretense. There's no eye service in machine. They will do the work morning, afternoon, night, public holiday, Sunday, Easter, Christmas. And guess what? You'll be shoving problems. Don't think this machine is finished the work. Oh. It's not end to end. Oh. They will shove the problem at you. So your problem-solving skills, your decision-making. You're not going to walk across the corner and go to Kumbi's office. Kumbi is not there. You call the phone, she will not pick. And needs service. So your decision-making. You know, next.
Okay. Now 9 o'clock, the angel. Oh.
Next. Again, it's just more of the same, right? Communication. A lot of us have done meetings like we've never done in our life before. When I looked at the hours of meetings that we spend on Teams, it was alarming. Some people are in 2 meetings at the same time. Spiritual. Say spiritual something. They're in 2 meetings at the same time. You know? And therefore you have to communicate. You have a choice. That is not in front of you. You're in a big meeting. You can't speak Yoruba in one corner, or speak Hausa in one corner. The communication skills will come out. Complexity and ambiguity. I find that in recent times, in my space now, technology space, in years past, it used to be straightforward. There's a problem, you just jump, the developers come, you just code, and go. we spend a lot more time in design these days. I'm sure a lot of us have heard what we call design thinking. It's not a buzzword. It's not a buzzword. I'll tell you why it's not a buzzword. The demands of our customers are evolving very quickly. The tastes are changing every day. The experience I get from Amazon, I want it in GTB, I want it in Leadway. The customer does not have your time to write a long letter. Dear Leadway, I was at Amazon. I enjoyed this kind of experience. I would like to replicate it like this, like this. Like this. You don't have the time. What you will see is that your engagement level is dropping. And therefore, you have to figure it out. And figuring it out means what? Design thinking. 60% of my time today. 60% of my time today. Design session. Either I'm talking to the people in digital, I'm talking to business analysts, or I'm talking to, it doesn't matter who I'm talking to. I'm just trying to figure it out before we get to the coding and the harder, the more hard stuff. And within organization, you want something, you have to be able to do design thinking because it shortens your time to market. So if you come to me with ambiguity, we will spend a lot more time trying to figure it out than someone who has done the design thinking and is coming and we are in refinement rather than starting from the scratch. So in the future of work, you will find that people who are problem solvers, critical thinkers, they will fly. Because less time is spent in design before you get into execution. So these things are not buzzwords, they are the realities that we live in. So how do we go about recruiting for the right skills? Let's go ahead. Okay, so this is just talking about the benefits. And I think in the course of our discussion, we've touched on it, but clearly your customer experience will improve, increase productivity, which is what I've just talked about, your ability to demonstrate some of these softer skills, design thinking, problem solving, and all of that. You are basically just shortening the time to produce value, pure and simple. And that's better for your customer and the organization. Therefore, as organization, like I said, we must understand our industry, understand our business, and therefore be able to identify those skills that matter to us. Now, let me make something abundantly clear. Hard skills are not going anywhere. What we are basically saying is there will be a de-emphasize the importance of hard skills. So the number of people who will be engaged in those kinds of areas will reduce naturally because there will be augmentation from systems and applications and machines and what have you. But the emphasis will then be on what soft skills will now augment what we have that is hard and important for the organization. And it will differ, like we have seen, from industry to industry, from organization to organization. It will differ. And that is where good professionals like yourselves come in. to be able to make that distinction and embed that, in our selection process. And then we must, culture, big word. Very, very potent force. This thing called culture is a potent force. Again, I like to refer to this COVID period because it's fresh and with all of us. I'm sure that things that we couldn't break for 50 years, we broke in two because we were forced to. And that just tells you how hard it is to break culture without some external force making it mandatory for giving you no other option. But the good side to this is not all culture is bad. There are certain cultures we have that has made us thrive despite everything. And then add that to the behavior that is consistent amongst top performers. If you look at top performers in your industry, across your industry, workplace, there are certain consistent traits that stand people out. You go to aerospace, you go to. I was watching a video about the Navy SEALs. They were asked, who are the people that, what kind of people make it through in the Navy SEALs? And that's the most elite military organization in the world. And I said, look, it's not the biggest guys with the heaviest chest. It's not the kind of people you really think. When you see the people that make it through, they will surprise you. Some of them are the skinniest of the guys. So, but for them, what is important is trust. So there's a greed, performance on this side, and trust on this side. So you have the high performance, low trust guys. Obviously, those are toxic people. Then you have the high performance, high trust guys. Yeah, everybody wants them, but you don't find them a lot. So what you find is that there's a midpoint where even if the person is not such a high performer, but the trust. And why is it important for them? The SEALs go for the most dangerous mission as a team. And therefore, the guy next to you, your life is dependent on the guy next to you. And so for them, yes, performance is important to be able to execute, but trust is key. And that is the level to which we must understand our organization to see what really works for us. What really works for us? We must bring that out. Sometimes it's found in our culture. Sometimes it's found in the traits of top performers, but we must find it where it is and embed that in how we select our people for the future of work. Next. So I think we've talked through this. Next. Again, we're just re-emphasizing what we've talked about. You need to articulate and embed. Find what works for you, articulate, embed in your selection process. Let's go. Again, let's go. Next. Now, to varying degrees ready for the future of work. So what do we do? Let's go, Leah. Leah, one slide. I found this statistics very interesting. 50% of workers will, so 1 in 2. That's what it means. 1 in every 2 will require upskilling and reskilling next year. By next year. Now, 60%, 6 out of every 10 of workers have said that the pandemic has accelerated their need for new skills. Stay with me, painting a picture. So 1 in 2 say will require upskilling. 6 in 10, 60% say there's been an acceleration in the need for new skills. And guess what? Almost 50% of organizations are doing what? They are reducing upskilling opportunities. Let me stay on this slide for just a minute. What this tells me is that this future of work, your employer may not get you ready for it. It is on you. But guess what? It's never been easier to pick up a new skill. All sorts of resources all over the place. Even in my field where I've operated for God knows how long, there are things I want to know. I rush to YouTube. Oh God, give me 5-minute lecture there. Let me know what I'm talking about. It's never been easier. But you have to be deliberate about it. It's, as they say, there's no difference between a man that can read and doesn't read and an illiterate. We are the same. So the guy who is sitting down and waiting for his organization to upskill him to the point where he's ready for the future of work, and you who have all the resources and you are not taking advantage of it, there's no difference. All of you out of the door. And nobody will be sorry. When I saw this slide, it just hit me that getting ready for the future of work is you. And it becomes doubly difficult because the emphasis is not even on the hard skills anymore. It's even on the softer things. Your ability to even recognize and take steps towards developing yourself for the future of work in itself is a soft skill. That's self-awareness. That's self-leadership. Next. So this just talks about, reskilling versus upskilling. Where upskilling is saying, in my current role, how do I get better? And reskilling is saying, this my work all of a sudden does not exist anymore. I need new skills for a new role. I pray and I hope that we don't wake up, and we are not part of the people that will wake up one day and realize that they are no longer relevant. Because if you begin to reskill after the bell has gone on your relevance, God help you. Even the kindest HR managers cannot help you at that point. Where the HR managers can help you is when you come and say, the way I assess this my role in 2 years, it will no longer exist. How may I be saved? Then there's intervention. Next. So how do you upskill and reskill your workforce? I mean, you guys are in a better place to tell me this one. So permit me to skip this slide in the interest of time. Next. So in conclusion, really, the future of work, we see a lot of automation, there's going to be a lot of digitalization and all the things that we talked about. Future possession of the right skills are what the minimum so your hard skills that you are so proud of today will be the barest minimum going forward. You guys, for those that have kids, you observe your kids. If you observe your kids carefully, you will be scared. You'll be very afraid that the things it took you all your life to this point to learn, by default, they don't have to try. Even babies, when you give babies phone, they do like, who told you you swipe? Who told you you should swipe? That's the one that amazes me the most. A baby, no experience. You see a phone, you swipe what? So if you observe your kids, their ability to collaborate, the things you cannot do on a laptop, you do it on a phone. It's interesting times ahead. The concepts that you struggle to grasp, for them is basic thinking. Blockchain, big deal. Artificial intelligence. They are coding anyway. They're building games anyway. They build the games they play and exchange with friends online. And they're going to bring all of that skill into work. 10, 15 years time or less. Bringing all of that skill into work. If you are not over and above that, because those are hard skills today, by the way, but that is the minimum required. If you are not over and above that, in the problem-solving space, in the design thinking space, in the innovation space, being restless about the status quo, if you are not there, this future is not for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Odalo. We're going to just quickly put you back on the hot seat. Do you want some water? We'll just put you, okay? We'll grab some water. Who can help us, please? Yes. And then yes. Can you please direct us? I have no clue where the camera is, but I'm assuming, there we go. Okay, right here. So I just have Odalo and Kumbi on the hot seat. Thank you all. If you have questions, we're going to get to the quiz. I took loads of notes because there are loads of gifts to win. But before then, we'd like to take some questions. So for the online audience, we'll call you virtual team. If you could pop your questions in the chat. I don't know, because we try to unmute, we try to mute you all. So I don't know if you're muted now or you can do that yourself. But we'll start with those physically in the room. Maybe we'll take a question or two from here, and then we'll invite some questions, maybe another two from the virtual team. So spotlight is on you all in the room. Yes. Who's going first? Any questions? We have Odalo in the hot seat. We've also put Kumbi right there to take some questions. Hiring for soft skills, hard skills, which way to go? Some of the questions or insights that Odalo shared with us the last 35, 40 minutes. Thank you, Joshua. Okay, there's another microphone in the room. We need help to get to Joshua. Yes. All right. Okay, this we don't want to see those online. We like it like this. I don't know. No, I'm saying that's exactly my question. Why don't we want to see them? Do we like it like this? Okay, Joshua, you have the floor. You can take my mic. Yeah.
Hello. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, sir, for your section. I really enjoyed myself. My question was, I have a friend, he's very good, very intelligent, very smart. And the problem about him is about trust, that he said. And it has really affected him in moving. So whenever you talk about him, people are like, this guy, we don't think, but I know this guy is good. So what can he do about the trust? And I've been trying to talk to him how to help him out to have a better image out there when people talk about him. So how can he bring about this and come out of this? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so the guy gives up a vibe. Let me use the vibe of
yes, he gives out the vibe that people believe
that that's not trustworthy. All right. Odalu, you want to take this?
All right, so I like to see trust from a few dimensions. So there's a consistency element in trust. Consistency in doing what is right. And that's what creates trust, right? I'll tell you, I have had to pass up on opportunities to hire very technically sound guy because I had issues with trust element. And trust doesn't mean you're a thief. Let me be clear. Trust could mean you're a toxic person in the sense that performance-wise, you're up there, you're good. But in your relationships with people, for instance, you lack emotional intelligence, right? That sense of being interested in your colleagues, being a team player, resilience. So when we say trust, these are the elements that come into play that creates trust. So let's just get that clear. So I'm not saying this guy is a thief, is a criminal or anything. But when some of these softer elements that creates the fabric of a team, and that's another thing in the future of work, team over the individual. So everything that works to create that fabric of the team is what I call trust. And anytime, any day, if I don't get that sense that it is there, I don't care how technically proficient you are not for my team. So to answer your question now, how does he get better? I would say, look, speak to HR professionals in the space. And I know that getting better at softer skills, first of all, requires like a self-discovery. And that's a journey that, professionals in this room can take people on. I think once the key issues are identified, some sort of plan is created around that, over time, it can get better. But trust me, as long as those issues remain, for any future forward-looking team, probably won't be a good fit.
Thank you.
So my advice to your friend is, your friend needs a coach. There's something that is called sales in coaching. And your friend has to get to a journey where there's awareness, there's intuition, and there's a release of the energy wherever that negative energy is coming from. Most often than not, a number of us have had childhood experiences that have stayed with us, that are somewhere embedded in our being. And we don't realize it until we come to similar circumstances that created that experience. And that has sort of shaped our perspective. And unfortunately, your perspective determines the way you behave, the way you think, and the way you solve problems. And so you will find that that continually displays itself in relationships. And so you would, the person is never able to make any meaningful relationship in all their interactions. And that goes back to the teaming thing. Because if you can't even trust yourself, you can't trust anybody, how do we then give anything of value to you to do? So it is something fundamental. And I'll say that to every HR professional, you may not be trust. You need to think of that fundamental thing that is holding you back, that is not enabling these soft skills that we have been talking about, and deal with it concisively such that you can become that person that you ought to be in that field of profession. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kumbi. I hope there's been some insight for you, Joshua, for your friend. Are we taking another question? We'd like to just invite the virtual audience. Yes, yes. Okay, any question from there? Ibuku? Was there any question popped in the chat?
No, ma'am. None yet.
All right, thanks. So any in the room? Any questions? Lydia's hand is up. Okay, hi, Lydia, go ahead. You have the floor.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much, Mr. Odalo, for that session. So recently, my experience with recruiters, being a candidate now, is that most people seem to be more interested in the hard skills and also in the amount of experience you have gathered as a candidate that would be of benefit to the organization. And it gives the impression that most organizations would rather not have to train for hard skills. They want someone who is able to just plug in and play and hit the ground running when they come into that organization. So how exactly can we, having identified now that it's easier to train for hard skills while the soft skills are already in existence, how exactly can we help to tilt the skills towards looking for soft skills that are easily adaptable to that organization, and then where necessary, build up the hard skills that you desire because they are more easily learned based on what we learned from the session? Thank you.
Because I was trying to play the question and understand it better in my mind. So what I hear is that, look, yes, we can get hard skills very easily. How do we then get the soft skills that we require? So Odalo mentioned something when he was talking. He talked about Google. He talked about a number of things that you can get online, basically more for the hard skills. But for the soft skills, yes, it's a bit more difficult because somewhere in your being, on these soft skills that we're talking about is the element of character. And my advice would be for you is that there's something about role modeling that we as HR professionals need to have a rethink about. We've had mentors who have become tormentors. And we need to really look at it all over again. I would ask that if for this case, there are a number of people who are bound, especially in the HR space, who we know are leaders, do background check. Interestingly, we're able to do that with all the networking that we do now. Find out. A number of people now go to LinkedIn and they talk about their bosses, they talk about their experience. Find out from those employees who are speaking about their experiences that who are their bosses. People, organizations can only give experiences because of the people that make that organization. It is not just the name of the organization. So there's somebody behind that drum that is sounding. Find through your networks, mind them. Who are those people? I, for example, a number of people I don't know face to face reach out on one platform or the other. Maybe because they've had interaction with one staff of mine in one place or the other, and they make this request. And so you find that as you relate more with certain people, you begin to think and talk like them. No harm meant, okay? But for example, if you see a pastor from Christ Embassy, do you know that you don't really need to ask who their pastor is? Right or wrong? Why? that was what I said. But you see, why? We begin to see elements of character, of things being imbibed. And the same thing goes with these soft skills. The people you move with, the people you talk with, the people you interact with, then gradually you find that you start to role model around them. So who are those people within your network? They become your value worth at the end of time. And that value worth rubs out on how you think, your approach to problem solving, your approach to critical thinking, your perception of how you view things. And these are the skills that we've been talking about all day long. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, so this is a follow-up to the question that was asked online. Yes, it's good to have soft skills and all that. But if I hear the question correctly, right, what I got from the question is that organizations are tilting towards getting hard skills, or they're picking hard skills over soft skills. How do we manage this, or how do organizations manage this? I would also give an example to help explain this. I've been in situations where, you know, people are tilting. Well, the knowledge is, or the thoughts actually is to get soft skills over hard skills. And those hard skills can be trained while the person is within the organization. However, while they pick the soft skills because this person is loyal, this person can collaborate, it was so difficult to actually get the person to be technically sound, even with the amount of training that the person has gotten. So that's one side of the story. But the other side is, okay, I take a chance. You already have the soft skill, but I can train you. Some people, yes, it comes out positive. How do we balance that? That's actually the question the person was asking.
So in the discussion earlier, we talked about the dimensions in which you think about this thing. And one of the dimensions incidentally is what role and what function are you coming into? If I'm hiring at the analyst role, right? Naturally, my emphasis will tilt more towards the hard skill. Because at that level, your sphere of influence is limited. I really need you to focus on executing tasks. And therefore, you need the hard skills to be able to execute those tasks. That does not say you don't need soft skills. I'm just saying the emphasis will be less. However, I gave an example where I said I did not get a sense that the individual had the necessary soft skills. And that was for a senior position, you know. So again, it's a question of considering the dimension, you know, and weighing appropriately the hard versus the soft skill.
So in addition to that, to get that balance, you find that in HR circle, we talk about competency frameworks. Competency frameworks takes a look at what is the hard skill and what is the behavioral one that is required to be successful in the role. And to be fair, Odalo mentioned it earlier, that you have to really evaluate what those are. So again, depending on which part of the role. Now, the onus is on the HR professional who is using a recruiter to aptly articulate what is required per each role and provide that competency framework to say, who is the fit? This is the degree of technicality required. This is the degree of the soft skills required to be able to do that. And you find that more and more organizations today are beginning to use a lot of assessments that deep dive away from the technical skills to know what your pattern of thinking, your pattern of approach to problem solving. And when we are able to get those patterns out, we sort of have a persona of the kind of person you are, or a framework, a peep into, lack of another word, your soul. To say, who are you? And then we use those things to predict your success in the organization. So for example, predictive index analysis is one of those tools. And it talks about how you do many things because you've answered series of questions without realizing that it is testing who you are. So, and that is now put against the technical skills, all the different assessment scenarios, intro exercises that you have been given to then say, who is the person? I think the challenge for HR professionals is to begin to look at it differently, to say, use a mix of these tools so that you can get what is appropriate for the organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I see Lydia saying thank you. There's one question. So we're taking this to the last question. How do you know a candidate is culture and job fit for an organization? How do we know? Yeah, the second one seems like maybe we should answer it in the chat because it's complex. What do you do to correct this when an organization is not interested in the leadership skills of managers, but the meeting of their targets? I mean, that's very, yeah. Okay, so let me leave this at your feet. The culture and job fit one. And then if you can, if you're bold enough, please jump into the second.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll start with the second, right? And I think it's really a matter of perspective, and I'll give you an example. So, for instance, I need to go for a brain surgery, right? From my perspective as a patient, what I want is the most competent surgeon because it's my life, right? I really don't care about his soft skills. Just give me the best damn surgeon you can find, okay? But guess what? Within the hospital itself, there are nurses, junior doctors, trainee doctors, administrators, all sorts of people who need to work with that doctor who, in this case, is toxic. Would you rather then have your entire staff disgruntled because they have to work with this one toxic person or who is able to do miracles on surgery? Or would you rather find someone who is competent but is able to then get along with people and even raise more doctors to a high level of competence? And that's talk about the target, versus leadership. Look, I would find it really strange that any business leader who is concerned about the longevity of the organization, that you would prioritize someone who gets the job done, brings in the money, target, as you call it, but practically cannot get along with his team, cannot raise leaders, and all of that. It then becomes an issue for that board, the leadership of the entity. And I'm sure the HR team here can find ways to deal with that level of issue. Because, I mean, even at board level, you have what you call board assessments that should bring out things like that. There are evaluations for organizations across all levels, unless the organization is not being properly governed, right? And then I'll go to that question that says, how do you know a candidate is called for an organization? Now, at junior where experience, there's no track record. Just engaging on the basis of prior experiences, they're situational. There are situational discussions that you can put such a person through that gives you a sense. And there are all sorts of HR tools that you can use to guide you through how you engage such people. Now, for more experienced people, typically you will have a track record. And you should be able to demonstrate situations, verifiable situations. Even when you lie and you think you are gaming the system, if you have long enough experience, people know you, you've worked somewhere and all of that, it all comes together in the hiring process. The hiring process is not just about what you say in the interview, so that's my contribution.
I think for the leadership one, I know it's tough. It's a tough place to be. Been there, seen it. One of the things that you will begin to do is you don't walk up to your CEO and say, "Guy, can't you see this?" No. First is understand the language of that business as an HR professional. Second, HR has moved from fluffy. You need to get hard numbers. Sit down and think how to get those hard numbers up. Interestingly, a number of surveys are your friend. 360-degree leadership, employee engagement survey, employee satisfaction survey, and there are a number of other things you do. Things like exit interviews, stay interviews. Put all the data together. Where it is pointing at one person, there is a problem. Interestingly, what you also can do is when it starts to point at one or two persons, catalog the attrition rate in that department. Put a cost round to that attrition and the number of what it has cost you as an organization to replace those people. Sela, we were having similar conversation today. When you put up the numbers, this boss who is very business minded would immediately look at those numbers and start to ask themselves questions. In fact, put the productivity for the people that you have lost. So if each one of them was bringing in 30 million, that has been lost. That's 60 million. Calculate the 30 million over the extended period they've worked in the organization and those kind of values. So you really need to sit down and articulate well and present it back. Now, you have not gone to say this person lacks leadership skill. You're saying, see what is going on here. It calls for attention. By the time you present it, your CEO will sit back and say, what should we do? Then you have opened the door to have this kind of conversation that 1, 2, 3 things solve problems like this. If we do this, and then you also go back and put numbers to it and say, if we do this, we're likely to get this. Over the next 3 years, there's a probability that our engagement score will move from A to C. And when it does, our productivity, our revenue is likely to increase by so amount because research has shown that where engagement moves by this, it correlates with revenue. The man will sit up and listen to you. Thank you.
I think on that note, it was an excellent place to stop and put our hands together for Kumbi. Who interrupted our clap? We have to do this, please wait. Can we put our hands together for Kumbi and Odalo? Thank you very much. I know some people are cooking, they're multitasking now and things like that. Was there someone trying to speak or was that sort of like a brief unplanned interruption? We can't, where are we seeing ourselves? I'm sorry, please. Is it possible to see our people? All right, we're going to quiz questions. Odalo, thank you so much. Odalo, I'm right here. We don't know where now, like the camera is there, you're behind me, I'm behind you. Thank you so much. We have gifts for you and Kumbi. So we're going to ask Oba to help us quickly. Yes. I mean, again, we've missed physical, we've missed physical interactions. This is something that we typically do. And so we can release you as well as we go into our quiz questions and some of the other activities that we have. Thank you so much for being on the hot seat. We appreciate you much. It's also Christmassy. So we thank you, little token. Thank you for your time and thank you for taking the questions. All right, we have gifts, you guys. Like Leadway went all out. Thank you so much. So we're going to start off. I think we have number of gifts. So first 10 people to log in. I think you have airtime. We're going to get to that. I think first 10 people to arrive. You have books. By the way, we have an author in the house. We have a couple of authors in the house, but we have our author friend of the family, and friend of outside in HR, and friend of the HR community, member of the HR community. What am I saying? We have Arosa Semigo in the house. He's the author of Getting a Job is a Job. Can we put our hands together for him? And he, as we say in church, he blessed us with 20 copies of the book. So we're going to get our first timers, get a number of the copies of the book. Okay. All right. And so we just want to thank him for that. A number of us also would get gifts. Commercial director is in the house. Hello, sir. A little bit whispered to me. Sigben Gales, did I get that right? Boye Gales. But you have Akin Lolu on your name tag. It's your middle name. Okay. That's your undercover name. There we go. Oh, good to meet you and thank you for stopping by. All right. So we are getting into gifts. We start with the quiz gift. Oh, I forgot to mention. First 55 virtual attendees get gifts from Leadway. Thank you very much, Leadway. I think the team are going to sort of coordinate that and let you all know. And of course, our music game team members have gifts. It's Christmas, It's Christmassy, so we have loads of gifts. Let me start. I like to do this because you can't just sit under this anointing and walk away without some knowledge. We're going to share some gifts, but we want questions to be answered. So when Odalo started, he shared some insights around percentages. We're numbers people. We even have commercial director in the house. So let's impress him a little bit with our numbers understanding. Who can share some numbers? 3 numbers. Any?
Okay. Yeah, for me, my name is John Adeyemi. I'm a human resource recruiter for Gratitude International.
I love this. Okay,
yeah,
you're jumping right into it. What's
the numbers? For the numbers are 50%, 66, and 40%.
Please come put our hands together for him, please. Let's just start. Let's go home. We can close. Just pack up the seats. Okay, hold on 1 minute. Thank you. We love the energy, the enthusiasm, in fact, the speed even. But we want the knowledge to be embedded, So I hear those numbers. Was that Emanuela? There's some kind of interference. What's happening?
Yes, still John.
Was it John? I can't see you, sorry.
Yes. Okay. I'm actually having my evening session. I'm taking a jog. Okay.
Okay, hold on, John. Is it John? Did he say his name?
Yes,
John, we like you. There we go. Give us.
Thank you.
Yes, you've won something definitely, but I want you to finish this quiz. Hand this baton over by telling us what exactly. What is 56? And for Lydia and Emanuela, I don't just want numbers. 50% is what? 60% is what? 46% is what? So John, what numbers?
This is an hot seat indeed. 50% is actually for the hard skills, and 46% represent the soft skills. Why the? Come again?
Sorry. Complete it for me. I want to complete it.
Okay.
Wow. Team physical. We're together. Go ahead, John. Tell us quickly.
Okay. For the first skills, that's 50%. That's for the up skills. Then for the 46%,
can someone mute him? Team virtual, please. Virtual class captain. We need you quick to be on the money like that. Okay, John, we're wasting a little bit of time. Can you type in the chat so we can catch what you're saying? So I can have somebody else answer another question. So John, tell us your gift is pending in purgatory.
Okay.
Tell us.
Okay.
If I have your hand up. John, do you want to mute yourself and then go ahead and type in the chat?
Okay. No.
A lot is happening. Okay. If
Sorry, we can't hear you. Virtual team cannot hear you, please.
technology, we're all learning, we're ahead of the curve. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, while you are here, Team Physical is munching. Next time, do the needful. Munch with them. I'm sure.
Okay, noted.
All right, said noted. All right. Okay, next question. Next question. Odalo shared some insight around solutions that HR people can explore. Two of them. Just share two, you get a gift. Or maybe we should just be kind because we have many gifts. So one each. If you pop in the chat, we can't see the chat anymore. If you pop in the chat, Physical, you're also open to this. Solutions. What solutions can we explore in terms of hard skills, soft skills? You gave us some insights around that. What should we do going forward? Like next step solutions. Yes, Arek?
We talk about imbibing the soft skills in the recruitment campaigns, putting it all out there right from the beginning, identifying those skills that performers and
Okay, very good. All right. Excuse me, what gifts are you sharing, Auntie? First timers. First 5 to come. We'll wait now. We'll do it together. We have a systematic way of doing it. Okay, give the rest of them. Because now other people will be wondering. Aren't people wondering? Like, what are they sharing there? Like we say in Nigeria, right? Okay, I think the first 5 people. Okay. Ori also got a gift now from Insight. Do you have your hand up? Did I see any hand up? Virtual folks. Very intentional. Thank you, Oluronti. I love that. He did say that, very intentional. Linda, monitor skills progress and design and implement learning strategies. Sounds correct. I don't remember that he said that. She has changed the wordings. Should we give her? Let's aim for effort. We are kind. It's Christmas. All right, so you're there. Nick has said feature of what? Okay, percentages are still coming through. Okay, we captured that. Yes. List all the critical job skills, job-specific soft skills. Chinedu, yes, he did say that. Application of design thinking, absolutely, Taiwo, he said that. Any other thoughts? Team Physical, you don't munch away and not answer. Yes, Bolani is another microphone. Who can help me? Chairman, sir, help me give her another microphone. Okay, articulate the soft skills. Are there gifts flowing in the house? What is their physical? They're physically here, physically give their gifts. All right, fantastic. Okay, I'm still going with the questions. Okay, so he's also specified a number of things around I wrote here, you know, this always happens, like I will write so fast and can't read my own handwriting. Does it happen to you folks? Okay, he did say something around the area of 3 areas of, okay, yeah, the top skills, the gap, right, around soft skills. So there was a McKinsey report, and there was also the future of work report. Who can list the 3 skills there that there might be a gap in? Okay, let me go back here. People are still answering. Embed soft skills in selection process. Emanuela, yes, he said that. So I think you get a gift as well. I'm not even counting how many gifts. I feel like Oprah. Everybody gets a gift. You get a gift. Yeah, give them a gift. Give them a gift. Yes. For which one? McKinsey or the other, or the future? Let's see. Okay, Chinedu, critical thinking, problem solving, self-management, jobs report. Love it, Chinedu. You're bang on the money. Yes. Okay. Anyone else? There was communication. Yes. Problem solving, critical innovation, creativity, McKinsey. Yes. Okpe Oluwa Shobayo. Yes. Missing skills, ability to lead. Mm-hmm. What else? Laurent, you're taking. You want to finish the gifts, eh? Yeah. What else? 33%. Andrew, that one is not complete. I want you to complete it. Okay. Okay. All right, we're going to one more question, then we'll do some music games. I think it'll be interesting to jump into the music games. Please share the people who are here, please, their gifts. Oba, who is helping us? Okay, we have some, yeah. Okay. All right, so I said we would take one more question. Okay, he also mentioned some skills, like, you know, he's specifically the trends that will shape the world of work. You know, he spoke specifically about, I will tell you the first one. First one, blockchain, right? There were a couple more that he listed. Artificial intelligence, you know, this is the problem with Nigeria. If you group it now, there's no answer. Sue has not finished. Sue, say 2 at once. There we go, you win that, yeah? Robotic process, Olurante, no, Olurante, wait, no, that's somebody else. Okay, Tosi Olushola, remote work, artificial intelligence, blockchain. Okay, Tosi gets that. I'm seeing, is that Chinedu? Yeah, Chinedu as well as Annie, virtual vice principal. I hope you're catching these names really well and fast. Yes? And it's set together too. She's looking at, even in front of the teacher, she's not looking at the phone. How are we supposed to give answer to that one now? Eh? You copied her notes. They're copying their notes. Virtual, they're copying your notes. So they just say and they'll collect all the small chops. Say it together. That's the last one. Couple more coming through. Digitization of work process. Okay, and remote work. That will yes. Okay. It is all over. It has finished. It has. What is getting a job is a job books? Are they here? Okay, because we have a contribution from getting to the author. So we should ask the first question that was asked. What was the first question that was asked? If you do group thinking, this is not design thinking, don't do group answering.
Okay, the first question that was asked.
By the participants, not by me. I like this epicness, yes? Who can remember? Getting a job is a job.
Hello, my name is John Adiemi. Good to answer this question again.
John
The first
again.
question,
John. Somebody has answered. Who?
the first question is trust.
Wait, my darling.
About
Wait.
trust.
John, wait. John, you better
Okay.
rushing out. You're a first timer. Wait first.
Okay, you win.
They said Lydia
You
Dejon about trust on behalf of his friend. Okay, so
Yes.
getting a job is a job. You get a copy. John, you get a copy too.
Oh,
John,
beautiful. Thank you. I
the
appreciate
spirit
it.
of
I
Oprah,
appreciate it.
you get
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Gracias.
Okay, thank you. They're veteran. You want to write your names down? Okay, cool. All right. Well done. Can we put our hands together for ourselves? We're going to some music. I hope you are eating at home. You probably showing them your party packs and your food.
Oh.
Are you see? People are not seeing it. People should raise it now. Even the small chop, the bag is so big. The food, only use small chop, jollof rice, right, Malta, this.
Wow.
They say she's not show us. Don't show us, okay. All right, so we're going to some music games, is it?
Yes. We're going back to the music games. We have 5 rounds quickly. So the first one is for the online. It's for the online team. Okay, for those online, DJ, where are you? Where's DJ? Okay. You know the drill, right? Just put in the chat the name of the song and also the artist correctly. Over to you, DJ. Okay, I think we have a winner. Stop. Okay, I think Vivian. Papa Don't Preach by Madonna. That's in the 80s. Yeah, the winner is Vivian Omoregbe. Yes, over to her. All right, so for the physical team, DJ, over to you. Just raise your hand if you know it. No chorus answer. Go! Ready. Okay, so you raise your hands first. What did you say? No, I don't think so. DJ, no. Can you play again? She's correct. Okay, all right, thank you very much. What's the name again? Sorry. Olamide. Please, can you take the name down? Olamide won the second music round. The third one is going for the online team. DJ, over to you.
It's been 24 hours.
Girls like you, Maroon 5. Girls like you, Maroon 5. Girls like you, Maroon 5.
Spent the weekend getting even. Ooh. We spent the late nights making things right between us. But now it's all good, babe. Well, I thought would, babe. Let me close. Cause girls like you go around the guys like me to sundown when I come through.
Okay, so I'm not seeing the winner here.
You know it's Christmas, so we're...
Okay.
Excuse me, Opa.
What is it?
Somebody unmuted while the song was playing to speak.
Okay, who is that?
It was Andrew Etchi.
Okay, Titi Adelaja. Okay, all right, that's Titi Adelaja. Where is she? It has gone up. Okay, great. So Titi Adelaja, can you please take that? All right, for the one more round for the physical team. Okay, so let's play, DJ.
It's Maestro on the beat, baby.
It's okay, DJ. So Adiola raised her hand first. Oh yeah, tell us. Let's listen now. Let's listen. One house. DJ, listen. Oh. Correct. Okay, all right. So Adiola got that right.
All right.
Right.
Who is it? I don't know.
Kwam one now.
Kwam one. I know Kwam one. I know Kwam one. Okay.
Hello.
All right. So, hello.
Sorry to
So
disrupt.
a number of the music games, the prize is what? Movie tickets and airtime.
Yes, airtime movie tickets.
Thanks to Leadway.
So we'll get in touch with you. Get your name.
Assurance and Leadway
Okay.
Health, isn't it? Yes. So make sure your name is correct. I hope your signing name is not Bomber or something, because then we will not send it. So I hope your names are correct. And so that when we contact you, we can, yes. Someone's trying to get our attention, I think. I'm hearing hello, hello, yes?
Yes, I would appreciate if my book gift be given to
please?
John.
John, is this your first time?
Yes, please.
No, we're going to gather around in one corner and ask you to build our Facebook wall.
Okay.
Calm down, put it in the chat. Welcome.
Okay,
first
that's
time.
right.
In fact, for first time, you get a gift. We inundate you with gifts. Just relax.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So we also want to thank two other team members who have really enabled this happen in a quick, again, like I said, before when it was all physical, like the team will all hide at the back when we're whispering, now it's like we're all in. Someone can be talking on the corner, the other people are clapping hand, washing hand, these ones are cooking at home. We're all in, right? So we want to thank Ademola and Leye of Leadway team for really, really supporting us and making today happen. They were standing together like Siamese twins. Come on, guys. We have gifts for you. Step up here. Leye and IT for making all of this happen. Demola, we pulled him in 10,000 directions. I think his hair grew longer. We really, really appreciate you all. Thank you for making it happen. All right. Just because it's to 9, I'm afraid to send you in breakout rooms. I feel like you will not return if I send you out to breakout rooms. And so we'll just do a quick announcement. Oba, did you have an announcement to make? Just today is also the school night, the work night. Some of us are still going to work tomorrow. Some of you will work from home. Tomorrow. Okay. Oba, are you ready for us? Oba has a quick update for us on something that we do. And then we will quickly do one more round of, Did you have one more round of music games? And then we'll close, literally just close and open the floor up for conversations. We also have, I think Demola is going to say something to us. Demola, right? At some point, like in the next couple of minutes. Okay, so Demola has like a appreciation closing remarks as well. Just running you through the rest of the agenda. We won't take you to a breakout room to sort of discuss other things, but we will share the insights and the topics. Again, if you just joined or joined maybe an hour ago, we said we have a HRBP Telegram group, and we absolutely will appreciate if it's your first time or if you're not on the group, to put your number in, send your number to outside in HR on the private chat, yeah? For, yeah, so you can add you to the group. But we had created a, what was it now? Like a quiz?
Yes,
a poll of some sort to ask what should we discuss today? And a number of topics came up. The Great Resignation, reality of fiction, we discussed that in the room and also virtually. We also did the remote versus on-site versus hybrid working. What does your company currently practice and how effective is it? I have to say that this process, this 7 years that we run 28 consecutive HRBP meetups, the whole idea really started from wanting HR people So in shaping the profession that each individual, Lamide, are you with us? With each, because you're not in virtual, but you're physical, right? Sorry. So you know that we not only sort of know Celestina is or Daco works for XYZ company or ABC the company. You can put a face to his name, right? And we can collectively shape the profession, because if we know each other, then we can share best practices. And what happens? Who gets better? The organizations get better. Nigeria gets better. Communities get better. That's why this was birthed. So I know like there's the excitement with the games and the fun, but also it's more, you don't want to leave here. Also virtually, hopefully that you connect with people and just sort of say, oh, I met this guy or this lady, and I can give them a call and find out what's happening in their space, right? Okay, let me also plug in Leadway Health. You know, they have a new HMO. Are you aware? Are you aware? Half people in the room, are you aware? Okay, so please patronize them, engage with them. You work for Leadway. You use Leadway. Do you work for Leadway? There we go. Leadway. We can brag and say we use Leadway. We use Leadway too. All right, so Oba, over to you. A few minutes, we'll play some songs, do a quiz, and then you come in. Not you, it can be. Oh, doctor, okay, all right.
Okay, quickly, can you please grab your phones? Quickly, just log to www.menti.com and put in the code 2707-5988. Quickly on your phone, go to www.menti.com and put in the code 2707-5988. I know that we've talked about this a lot today, but just to get a feel of what is the reality that we currently have. Yeah, 2707-5988. I'll close the poll in 1 minute. So quickly, just make a selection.
Only 3 people have voted. So it's anonymous, we don't know who, but we can tell the bottom right hand how many people have put in the code. So we have 60 something plus people left
online
Zoom,
for,
and another what we have, give or take, maybe 15. Okay, so biggest concerns we have: can I trust my recruitment process to identify the best candidate? Will the candidate perform on the role? You know, it's virtual, so it's virtually virtual. Hello, sir. Virtually virtual. You've created another cocoon in the virtual and the physical. You're here. I see you. Okay. How can I identify the best candidate from a pool of candidates? Will the selected candidate fit into our organizational culture? Will the candidate perform on the role? Okay. So, biggest consensus, 26 people have voted. We'll close it at 30 so we can move forward.
Okay, so that's 30.
Okay, 30 already. Great. So the biggest concern is really, will the selected candidate fit into our organizational culture? I like that because that sort of ties into what Odalo spoke about today. Again, just are we clear around culture? And a lot of times I have to say, Adiola, and you have I put you people in another corner. Hello, sir. Excuse me, sir. You have your team members are here. The 2 of them, if you hold their hand, you can just continue the kumbaya. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, over to you, Oba.
All right, so thank you very much for the insight. So we can see, we said the highest is will the selected candidate fit into our organizational culture? And I think this is the question that we ask ourselves today. How do we identify the best candidate? How do we identify the candidate with the right soft skills for the role and for the organization? So I want to introduce to you quickly Hogan assessment. This is an assessment that we used and trusted and have provided results. So Hogan assessment uses percentage data, right, from over 180 countries with over 3 decades of research to determine or predict how people will perform on the role. It's not more about the previous thing they have done, but about their personality themselves. And then you're trying to then match that to that role and see the soft skills they have, how they are thinking, how they see their work, how they let other people, and all of that. So if you want to know more about the organ assessment, reach out to us. We'll let you know how you can walk through and how you can begin to use it for organization and begin to leverage this tool to identify the people with the right soft skills for the organization. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Oba. So as part of his KPI, we have to force him to do that, yeah? But really quickly, honestly, Hogan is used by 75% of the 4,500 companies globally. I mean, a lot of companies leverage Hogan for senior leaders, but then we also have Hogan Configure that you can, if you don't have competencies in the organization or you don't have for your particular function, you can plug your data in and it will customize it for your organization and you can get insights about your employees. It doesn't make sense if you have a temperature and you go to the hospital and they say, oh, Dr. Tokes is even here. Oh, you are presenting, you have a temperature. It can be anything. Infection, malaria, right? Typhoid. What then do we do at the hospital to decipher exactly what it is? What's done? Who helps? If you show up at the hospital, you have a temperature. What is done? Blood test. Thank you, sweetie. So you do a blood test just to check. And sometimes very annoying. They'll say, well, doesn't look like anything, but like your white blood cells seem higher than normal. So, right, present. Because these days you have to sort of x-ray. People show up and they talk a good game and you have to x-ray them, right? Go to do the blood test. This is your blood test. See us later. Okay, so I'll invite Dr. Tokes and then we'll do the music and then we end. Dr. Tokes is they put you on the spot. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Hi, my name is Tokumbo, Dr. Tokumbo Ali. Okay, thanks. Hi everyone, my name is Tokumbo, Dr. Ali. I'm the CEO of Leadway Health, the newest and best HMO in Nigeria today. I'm literally just coming out here to appreciate each and every one of you. It's been interesting. I know I missed out on a lot, but the few minutes that I have spent here have been fascinating. It's a pleasure to meet every single person in the room, and even the guys online too. I sincerely appreciate all of you coming. Going through this gruesome traffic that's in front of our office, I thought people wouldn't even show up today because of that traffic. But I sincerely appreciate you. I appreciate the outside in HR team, the guys on the Leadway end who did this, made this happen, the IC guys, and also Mrs. Kumbe Adeoti, who's like a mother to all of us, you know, especially in your HR space. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you, and we hope to see you again. We'll do this again soon.
Okay, go ahead. The music, yeah? You want to do the last game? Okay. So it's like they said the gifts have finished. We should be going. No, just kidding. All right. So we're going to officially close this because it's a quote and unquote school night. It's 8:45. You can stick around. Hello, everybody. Just stay with me in 2 minutes. We're going to pictures, food, and everything. We appreciate you all much. We like that this happens, but it won't happen if you don't show up. So thank you very much for showing up. We also ensure that we plug in our TED Talks, quote and unquote, because we want you to go back and run with these insights. This doesn't make any sense to share all this information. You say, oh, so nice. That service was wonderful. Oh, that meetup, fantastic. What are you doing with it? You've got to do something with it. Because if all of us commit to doing one thing in our organization, there were at least almost 100 people online today, plus 20 plus of us here. If the multiple organizations, say give or take, maybe at least 50 organizations were represented, probably even 75. If all of us go back with one thing we will do differently, I will do this differently. I will explore this culture conversation with my teams, or I will look at, the statistics, so, or go back and say, how are we also tracking with problem solving within my function or the businesses I support, then this will have been all worth it, right? So it's back to you. And I think Odalo also said that at some point at the end of the day, it really is about you and what you do. Because very easy to insult the president. What is he doing? What are you doing? All right. On that note, we wish you a Merry Christmas and exciting and prosperous, amazing 2022. We pray that Omicron back to sender. I like that. So the beat is coming. And he's like, Auntie, hurry up. I need to do this. So I'll get out of his way. We appreciate you. Yes, first timers, you can put your numbers in the chat. I appreciate it also if you send it directly to outside in HR, so everyone doesn't just sort of see the number. Data privacy, we have to champion that as HR people as well. First timers, you have gifts. They've inundated us with gifts. They've slapped us left, right, and center. Plus touch and feel gift, plus movie ticket, airtime. Everybody gets a gift. I'm Oprah today, everybody. Thanks to you all. Bless you all, have fun. Stick around for music. There's food and pictures here. Take care, stay safe, wear your mask. I know we didn't really wear a lot of it today, but they're COVID tests. On the way out, grab one, get home. If you have COVID, sit still, chill, call Dr. Tooks. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Everything was done, oh yeah, yeah. All of a sudden, on came the light, and everything was feeling right. The people started dancing. Thinking about your love, yeah. I saw him.
Technology. That's what 20 people there. You know, let them see the faces of the people behind the scene.
Oh, nice one. For the people there.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Oba.
Oh, is your voice that's coming out that's not entering here? Sure, let me just make this.